Man, it's been a little bit of vacation, huh?
Yeah, and sorry, I'm filling in for Blake Lent today. My name's Jeff McKinney.
You've done some videos with us.
Yeah, done a few, but
we take a couple months off and Blake needs one more day. Is that not,
right.
Is that not just like Blake?
That is like Blake. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm surprised he's at work today. But anyway, to start off, we'll let me read our statement of beliefs. We at Satterwhite Log Homes are Christians. We are not ashamed of our faith. We kneel to God and God only, and not to man. We love America. We stand proudly for the pledge and for our national anthem. We are proud of our flag, our military, our law enforcement, and our first responders. We revere our founding fathers and our Constitution. We will fight to the death for our families, our country, and our God.
You know, that's something that Sam came up with that we've read every episode, and it's kind of neat because kind of what prompted us to do this video was an email that we got from a customer commenting on one of Sam's old videos. So it's kind of neat.
Let me read this to y'all. It's pretty neat email we received from a guy. It's not even a customer, just commenting on one of Sam's videos. Of course, those of y'all out there that were lucky enough to get to meet Sam and know Sam, he is just one of the best people in the world that you could ever want to know. Treats his family, employees, just everybody he met. He's a real charismatic person, and just when you meet him, he's just a hard person to forget, and good-hearted, and just a heck of a guy.
He's been taking care of you since you were a teenager, huh?
Yeah, I've been here since I was.
I mean, not taking care of you. But
oh yeah. Worked here since I was in high school, so I guess that was 29 years ago. So him and Rhonda both have been real good to me. But let's see. This is a guy just commenting on one of Sam's videos. It says, "Dear sir, my name is Gordon from Pioneer Valley near the Queensland, Australia. I just watched an hour-long YouTube video hosted by Mr. Sam Satterwhite titled The Biggest Problems with Log Homes. I then felt compelled to send this email. I actually felt compelled to call, but the time difference and the 20-digit phone number made this email the most efficient weapon of choice." Let's see. Sir, I thank you and your team for putting this excellent video together and for telling it the way it actually is, giving facts and sharing knowledge that is unfortunately being lost in this day and age of shortcuts and for profit and at all costs. I spent a few years harvesting and mobile milling Australian hardwoods, mostly for cattle yard building, fencing, and rail line sleeper supply. Whatever rail line sleeper supply is.
You know what that is. It's sleeping supplies for rail lines.
Oh, okay. All right. I started an on-site billet process, debarking, axe, maul, and wedge, and then adze. Then was taught chainsaw, then mobile mill saw. I was taught by blokes with generations of knowledge and experience like yours. Now, a few years later, and living in town, I can hardly find a milled pine board or post, raw or treated, for sale that will stay screwed or bolted due to poor drying and processing. Anyway, your presentation and knowledge kept me watching and not in agreement. I also learned what I was searching for with regards the potential point loading on the notch joint and the Sikaflex caulk. Your favor. I'm investigating building a cabin/shed. I hope this finds you and yours in good health and spirits. Thanks for the YouTube video. It made my day and week start a good one. Kindest regards from this part of the world. Mr. Millar. Guess that's how you say it. And then, of course, unfortunately, that was Danny, our tech guy, responded, letting them know that Sam had passed and everything, unfortunately. And anyway, his next response, my deepest condolences on the sad loss of Sam. Since sending my initial email this morning, I have been glued to this interweb screen watching videos on your YouTube page. I can see the employees, the business, mission, core values, statement, and the materials and techniques being used, that the business is still in great hands, and I hope that continues and remains a lasting legacy for a very long time. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the reply. So we sure appreciate when we get emails like that and everything. And
it's definitely uplifting.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And you don't think about, we were just talking about before the video, this is our 3rd season kind of doing videos. So there's a ton of information that you can always go back and get. I mean, we've had so many guests. We had Sam for so many episodes. We have so many guests come in and talk about things.
Right, and it is a wealth of knowledge, and I hope a lot of y'all out there do benefit from it. But it is sure nice to get videos, emails, and responses like that because, of course, things can be stressful in the construction industry or any industry now that we've went through COVID and, of course, had our losses, but also the supply chain and manufacturing problems that everybody's ran into. It just kind of became a part of life now, so it can be a little stressful getting everything to run smoothly. So emails like that are sure nice. Yeah,
it's good to hear from you, Gordon, and hopefully get to watch this video and maybe smile a little bit down there in Australia on the other side of the world. But that had us thinking, we've got some other ones. We always talk about, pose your questions to us so that we can answer. So we actually pulled a few more questions that people have posed to us, and I'm going to read them to you and just kind of let you respond, Jeff.
All right.
It said, I'm new to owning land and wanting to build on it, so I need to know the process if we choose to buy a cabin from you guys. Do you clear the land for the cabin?
We do not clear the land, but now if you're in this area, of course, we have a lot of resources as far as general contractors and different subcontractors that we can refer to you. But everybody gets worried that there's so much difference in building a log home than a conventional home.
Right.
And really, when it comes to land clearing, septic, electricity, a bunch of things.
Probably
everything's
80–90% the same?
Yeah. So, I mean, you're, especially when it comes to like dirt work, and everybody's always worried about the foundation. Our exterior log walls really don't weigh any more than a traditional rock or brick house. So when it comes to beefing up the foundation, you're doing basically the same thing as you would with a brick home. A few minor differences as far as anchor bolts and stuff, but nothing to really stress about.
Right, and even if you're not in our area, throughout the U.S., we know a lot of contractors. Not every place we know a contractor, but in a lot of areas, most places, we can at least hook you up with somebody who can help you and walk you through almost all these things we're going to talk about if we don't do it.
Sure.
Do you put in the septic and propane systems?
No, we do not. We don't get into the septic, propane, things like that. A
lot of the mechanical stuff.
Yeah, basically the only mechanical we do is the roughed-in electrical, the exterior log walls, and if we're doing the slab foundation, we do the roughed-in plumbing through the slab.
Yeah, exactly. So we specialize in the constructed shell in most areas of the U.S., so that allows us to come in, do what we know how to do, and then hand it off to somebody else who knows how to do what they know what to do.
Sure.
Do the appliances come with the cabin, or is that extra?
That is extra. Now, typically, most people are hiring a general contractor.
Right.
So it's almost like a seamless transition from the shell to the finish
our
out.
portion to them.
Right. And there again, everybody always worries, well, this general contractor hadn't finished one of your homes out. Now, when it comes to beam and railing work, which we can refer people out to that, after our part's done, it's basically like a conventional home. You're putting sheetrock or tongue and groove and stuff like that.
HVAC.
Right. Yep. And like I said, the few minor differences are specialty deals like hanging beams or building log stairs and rail. We have people that we can refer that'll travel and do it just about anywhere. And
I'm going to give us a little plug before we go to the next one because like we talked about earlier, there's a ton of videos, and there's a ton of videos that we have that talk about specifically what's included in the shell, what you're going to get for the money. So there's resources on our Facebook page and our YouTube page in those videos, and also on our website. The ways, I think the Satterwhite Building System tab on the website explains what's included. Of course, if you have any other questions beyond what we've talked about here and those other resources, feel free to call or email like we've done here, and we can specifically go over them with you. Okay, it says, depending on which cabin we choose, how long does it normally take to build?
Ooh, that's a tricky question. Right now, we're running somewhere, once the foundation's in place, we're running somewhere between 9 months to a year out once the foundation's in place.
If we're doing the constructed shell.
If we're doing the constructed shell, yes. Now, a regular material package with our standard size logs, I mean, typically we can get that out in a month and a half, 2 months. If you're looking at our bigger logs, like an 8x8D or 9-inch cope or something like that.
Pioneer.
Yeah, Pioneer log, you better be looking at around 5-6 months to just, business has been great. It's a good problem to have, I guess, in that aspect, but it's just taking a little bit longer to fill orders on the bigger logs.
Yeah.
But if we're doing the constructed shell, we're about 9 to 10 months out. We're trying our best, once the foundation's in place. But we are in the process of hiring some new crews to help.
Trying to. I mean,
yeah.
It's not for lack of trying, I can promise you that. It's literally, I don't know what it's like in your neck of the woods. Feel free to comment, but it seems like everywhere we go, they have a help wanted sign in the window. I don't know where all the workers went, but if you got any workers, send them our way. We're paying well.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Are you allowed to make changes to the plan to fit our needs?
Yes.
No.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My wife does that, so yeah.
Almost every customer does modify the plan. I'd say probably 80-90% of customers start off with one of our standard plans and modify it to either fit their land, their needs. It's a real common to have to flip the house because the driveway's coming in on the other side or a view or something like that. But I'd say 80-90% of customers start off with one of our plans and modify it to suit their needs.
But you don't have to.
You can start from scratch.
15, 20 or whatever, yeah, they can start from scratch. We have in-house designers at each of our locations that can help you, like modify one of ours or start from scratch.
Right.
Or you can buy one stock if you don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, that makes our jobs easier if you just buy stock.
Straight out of the book.
Right.
Do you do the financing for the build, or do we need to get a construction loan?
We do not finance. There's no in-house financing or anything. But really, if you have a good relationship with a bank, your local bank who you deal with, I'd start off there. If for some reason you don't want to use them or can't, we have a lady out of Colorado that'll do just about anywhere in the United States. We have First Liberty National Bank in Liberty, Texas. That's our bank as well that does loans for us.
Yeah, we've got places out by the Georgia office. I mean, we've got recommendations around, but it won't be through Satterwhite. They're just recommendations that people that we've worked with in the past.
Sure.
Thank you so much for all those questions. We got time, I think, for one more. It says, I'm putting together a plan for a Satterwhite home this coming year and have questions about the fireplace. One of the things I haven't thought about is the fireplace being a separate expense. Can you give information about how to budget for that?
Yeah, that's just like everything. I mean, you can go down and buy what is it? Yugo or not Yugo?
Yugo? How old are you?
No, you can buy a cheap car, real expensive car, and everything. And the same thing through the whole build process, like a fireplace. There's man-made stone I bet you could get for about probably $8,000 to $10,000 now. How things have kind of escalated, but or you could probably, I'd say, an average true stone masonry fireplace would be somewhere between about $16,000 to $20,000 now, materials and labor. Yeah. Of course, that depends what stone you're using, how wide it is, how tall. If you're going all the way up on the inside, there's so many factors.
If you're using stone at all, I mean, because we've seen beautiful houses that have like cedar around them, or or log siding. You know, as long as you have your airspace around the flue or whatever. So yeah, it's hard to say, but just like Jeff said, my 2 cents would be probably somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000, all the way up to really the sky's limit. But but I'd say on average 20 to 25. So I would say 3 to 5 to 20 to 25. With maybe outliers both ways. Oh, yeah. There's always exceptions to the rules, and especially once you get on the interior, you can get a real nice finish out on the interior for a reasonable amount, or if you want to go crazy and start getting stuff shipped from overseas and stuff, you can spend whatever you want. Exactly. Well, man, it's great to be back in front of the camera answering your questions specifically, but also just to be back to have videos for you guys to see. Many thanks to Jeff for sitting in. Hopefully he'll come back. Maybe I can get to take a break next time and you can fill in for me. Sounds good. Anytime. I enjoy it. Excellent. Well, like I said, thanks so much for tuning in on this Thursday edition of Satterwhite Live, and we'll see you again next week. All right. Y'all have a good day.